So I'm sat down, I'm behind the desk. This can mean only one of two things. Either A, this is really important, or B, I'm really angry. In this case, it's both. What's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews, and today we are going to discuss possibly the one thing in the football boot industry that annoys me the most. This genuinely ticks me off, presses my buttons, I can't quite explain how mad this makes me, so instead of explaining how mad I am, I'm going to explain exactly what my problem is and see what you guys think. Remember to like the video, remember to get subscribed, and let's get into it. So today I want to start by talking about the new Copa 20 line. So that's the 20 plus, the 20.1, etc, etc. So Adidas have just dropped this as part of their brand new encryption pack, and it looks amazing. The problem being that it's basically the same boot as the 19 plus or the 19.1, which is where my issue lies. My issue lies in the fact that companies are releasing boots, giving them new names, passing them off as new releases with such minor changes that it might as well not be there. It's like a 19.1.1. Like, the difference is so minimal that it's infuriating. And it's not infuriating because I don't know there's a difference. It's infuriating because I feel like Adidas, Puma, Nike have escaped this so far, are basically releasing boots, giving them new names, because new names build hype, new names build interest, and they're giving these boots new names just to sell units. So I feel like they're trying to trick, hoodwink, or just generally deceive the average consumer by basically saying, here, look at this brand new boot, you now need this new boot, because that's how people think. People want the newest, the best, the most recent thing. Look at the hype over new iPhones and things like that. The newest one has the biggest impact and has the most hype. So changing the name of the Copa from the 19 to the 20 builds interest, intrigue, and hype. But I just feel like it just shouldn't be like that, because the boot, literally, this is the difference in the boot. They have used the Fusion Skin technology to apply a slightly grippier top coating to the leather of the boot, and they have made the heel tab slightly softer. That's the difference, nothing else. So it's kind of the Copa 20 line from this encryption pack that's pushed me over the edge with this one. And it's not because the Copa 20 is a bad boot. It's a really good boot, but it's the change that's really driving me nuts, because it's not just the Copa that's doing this. For me, this really started in earnest with the Predator line, another Adidas boot. So Adidas had the Predator 18 line, so the 18 plus, and this one, the 18.1. They then went and released the 19 plus and 19.1. The difference between these boots is probably even less than that which you will find on the Copa, which, if you've seen my video on these boots, again, it's not because they're bad. These are very good football boots, but these were very good football boots, and changing them for the sake of change was not changing them because you'd made an improvement, because you'd actually come up with something new or something revolutionary. It was to build hype and get people to go out and look at the boots. And yes, I know that is quite literally the job of a marketing department, which is why companies like Adidas release on a 12-month schedule, even when a 12-month schedule makes no difference because they clearly cannot innovate fast enough. You kind of get two boots back to back that are very similar to each other, Copa 19, Copa 20, and then the next generation is usually a little bit more advanced or actually has some kind of technology in it, which is why Nike used to release on a 2-year schedule. Concerningly, they have now switched to a 1-year schedule. The amount of time between the Vapor 12 and the Vapor 13 was almost 12 months less than any of their previous releases, at least 6 months less. Nike are clearly moving to this new system because they have to in order to compete with all of these new releases that are coming out. The problem with this is that potentially this means Nike are going to start doing the same thing as Adidas. One of the worst offenders for this, maybe the worst offender for this, and it's brought about by their own release schedule, is Puma. Now, Puma are doing some fantastic things with their boots at the moment. They're really releasing high quality product, and since the NetFit system was introduced, the future really is a line that's well worth considering. This particular generation has its issues, but they're good boots. The problem is, these came less than 6 months after the Puma Future 19.1. These are the Puma Future 4.1. They even have a naming system designed around releasing every 6 months. 6 to 9 months. It's completely crazy. Like, these boots are the same boots as the 19.1 with a very small tweak to the pattern in the Evo knit on the upper. The 19.1 has a swirl pattern. These have a diamond shape pattern, and they're a tiny bit softer because of it. Is it an improvement? Yes. Is that improvement of more than about 0.2%? Absolutely no. These boots were released to give a new name, to build hype, to try and get people to go out and buy the boots. And again, I come back to the same point. I know marketing departments are there to try and sell boots, but if you want to sell boots, innovate, make something new, make something different. And if you can't make something new or something different, then don't release a new boot. So we circle back around to the Copa. Is it a good boot? 100%. Is it a boot that you should consider? Absolutely. But I think eventually companies are going to start shooting themselves in the foot. There are people like me, reviewers out on the internet, that will happily tell people not to go and buy the Puma Future 4.1, go and buy the 19.1 on sale. When boots are old generation, the prices drop more considerably. You will notice that the 19.1 is now a bargain of a boot, and if people start to realize that the difference is minimal, they're not going to buy your new boots. They're just going to wait for the old boots to go on sale and just be like, oh well, I got the same pair. The same thing applies to the Copa, the 19 plus to the 20 plus. People just go out and buy the 19 plus, and yeah, it might not happen overnight, but people will realize, people are smart. They're going to know that this 20 plus is just not worth their €250, and they're going to go and buy the 19 plus, which the companies, which the stores will drop drastically in value to try and shift them because they're no longer the current model. It's not what people want. But it will become what people want because companies will force people to want it by just continually releasing and rehashing old ideas. Honestly, they're just not trying. And I feel like it's a little bit of an insult to the consumer to do that. But that is my rant for today. I'm really interested to know what you think. Put down in the comments, do you think that companies are right to do this, to put out new boots to try and boost sales in order to really drive information and drive eyes on their product? Remember to like the video. Do remember to subscribe to the channel for all of the reviews that I've got, as well as some opinion pieces like this. But that's all from BootWizard here today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon.